remember watching Soul Vibes one night, like just watching them, and you know Nessie was still around. God bless his soul. But I remember watching them and like looking up at them and like, man, that's what I want to do. You know, like looking up at Nessie and Mila, like that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like that's that one point in time. You know, I was like, that's me, right? That's what I want. Cecilia Capono, you know, JD Crutch, Jesse Baez, you know, just a lot of people who really put their talent to the full extent here on Guam. You know, like I remember in elementary watching Jesse Baez in an all-white suit, you know what I mean, performing in front of all of us, and you know, in elementary, and like thinking like, wow, that guy is cool. We're at the Rack. We're opening for their pre-party. Rebel Lion. I was playing with Rebel Lion. We opened up for their pre-party, and we were singing Who the Cat Fit. And then when we were done with the set, got off, and then Jake was like, "Dude, you sound like nothing I've ever heard of before. You know, like somebody that I've never heard of before." He's like, "We need to do a song." So like he's like, you know, we're at the Reef, you know, and we're staying at the Reef. Come check me out at the hotel. We'll write a song. You know, we'll work on a song. So the next day I went there. He had the notebook out already, the guitar's out. Like, man, he already showed me like a piece of the idea that he had. So just from there, we wrote the song. Then like he just recorded on his phone, and we just kept listening to it over and over. And then like he came to check us out the day after at the Rack, and he's like, man, I can't stop listening to this song. Guam, like I just wanted to show, like not show, but just let everybody know that, man, dreams are real, man. Like, I know everybody says that all the time, but it's real. If you really want it, if you really want it, it can happen. You know, like Jah's not sleeping. He knows what you want. Why do you make me chase you around? When we wrote that song, You and Me, he's like, man, this is like the saddest reggae song in the world. And I was cracking up because I was like, yeah, you know, I never really thought like the song would be as big as it is, but it's really big, that song, and it's kind of weird, you know, looking back and like, man, is that me? That's not me, man. You know, like I can't believe that's not me. And one of the hardest downloaded reggae songs on iTunes last year. Like, that's not me. And like, you know, like just can't believe it sometimes. I've never toured before in my life, so like staying on a bus for like a month and a half, you know, like it's fun. It's like a different, you know, because for me it was fun. Staying in the bus was no problem, but like everybody's like, oh, I gotta stay on this bus again for a month. I'm like, man, this is cool because I've never seen any, like I've only seen like California, San Antonio, Florida, like 3 states. And then like being on tour, you get to see all these different cities and all these, you know, these different states. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I love this, you know, I love being in the bus, but it's so fun, like playing the show. The hardest part is like after the show, like when you're in the bus, in your bunk, like just thinking, you know, I'm away from my family, my wife, my kids, like that's the hardest part, you know, like being away from my kids. Playing here, it still gets the nerves running, but imagine that feeling amplified by like 20 or like 30. We're shopping, and then all of a sudden these guys come up to me and like, hey, you're Chris, right? Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking like maybe I dropped something or, you know, something like that. I'm like, hey man, can we take a picture with you? I'm like, you know, that's the first time this ever happened to me at home, you know, like usually at home people are like, you know, I'm not saying that they were disrespectful, but like people, like they give you space, they don't ever crowd you or whatever. All the bands now are maturing and they're knowing what they want now. Like, you know, I love all the local bands. Like I try as much as I can, if I can make it out to support all of them. I try. But you know, like Soul Vibes been around for so long, and you know, like those guys already know what's up. And Table for Five, they're like just fire, you know what I mean? Like, went to watch them 2 weeks ago at the Beach Bar, and I was like, damn, man, these guys you know, they know what they're doing. Which, you know, regardless, not regardless, but like going back to when I first started, like wanting to, you know, pursue playing in a band. Like really, it was just like jam band, you know, like just everybody gets together, knows their part, jam, you know. But now everybody's getting more technical and like, you know, putting punches in here, putting intros here, picking up horn sections, like really putting musicianship out there. Rebel Lion, Table for Five, Soul Vibes, Mila, and you know, just my kids, my daughters, Stella Joy and Jasmine, my son Zion, my fiance Crystal, and yeah. Butter Don, you, Joan, John Palau, Savage K, everybody in the KOAM crew. Shout out to everybody. Just in case I don't want to leave anybody out, so shout out to everybody too. If you have a dream, and hold on to it, you know, like don't ever think that things are impossible. Like you know, the Bible, I think it's John 3:16, when he says, to do the impossible, you must first think it's not.